This video is intended for guidance only, to be used in conjunction with the official installation guide provided. We need to fit the mixer tap and filter before connecting the boiler. It's important that all new pipework is fully flushed to remove debris. Skipping this step can cause problems with the tap or even damage the boiler. First, shut off the domestic hot and cold water supplies, including turning off your heating system. Hold the tap upside down with the 98-degree filter control to the left like this. Fit all the flexible hoses and fixing stud to the base of the mixer tap. Note the colour coding. Double check the order working clockwise. Pass all the hoses through the worktop. Fit the black gasket and metal horseshoe over the fixing stud and tighten the nut with a 13mm box spanner. Connect the hot and cold flexible hoses and tighten with spanners. Locate the fibre washer into hose C1 and fit the brass adapter. Use PTFE tape and fit the grey push fit adapter. Don't over tighten this fitting. Compress a spring clip over the silicone tube D1 and push the brass adapter fully into the tube. Then position the spring over the middle of the barb section. Mount the filter vertically so that it can be easily changed periodically. Attach the bracket right on the installation date and clip into place. Cleanly cut an appropriate length of 1/4" blue pipe. Fully push one end into the grey push fit adapter and the other into the filter's inlet. Fit the remaining length of blue pipe to the filter's outlet, that's the bottom. Turn the hot and cold water supplies back on and check for leaks. Whilst holding the 1/4" blue pipe attached to the filter's outlet over a bucket, turn on your tap's 98-degree water control. Air will be expelled and water will soon flow. Flush at least 2 litres of water through into the bucket to remove any harmless particles from the filter. Once done, turn the tap's 98-degree water control off. You're now ready to install the boiler. Refer to the supplied installation guide and check the preparation steps before connecting the boiler. Before we fit the ProBoil 2X boiler, all pipework should be flushed and a 13A power supply should be within 1.4 meters of the boiler. Position the boiler roughly where it's to be installed, then mark the fixing holes at 90mm centres. Drill and fit the screws to the cabinet wall, leave them 5mm proud. Unscrew the transportation caps from the top of the boiler and then tip any remaining water down the sink. Insert the 1/2" rubber mesh seal correctly to the boiler's blue inlet and hand tighten the wing nut connector. Check that the red boiler outlet connector includes the pre-installed rubber seal and tighten the red wing nut to the central outlet. Plug in the power cable but leave the power off at this time. Hook the boiler up onto the wall fixing screws. Trim the 1/4" blue pipe from the filter's outlet to an appropriate length and fully push into the straight 1/4" connector already fitted to the blue boiler inlet. It's very important to only use the silicone hose to attach the red boiler output to the flexible hose D1. Insert the fibre washer into the brass connector on hose D1. Fit the red adapter and tighten with spanners. Don't over tighten this connection. Push the silicone hose first onto the red connector. Rough out and mark the minimum length needed, then add 50mm and cut the silicone pipe cleanly and squarely. And then push onto the boiler's red outlet. Make sure that both hot and cold water supplies are turned on. Turn on your tap's 98-degree water control. Boiler will start filling with water and air will be purged from the system. It's normal for the tap to spit a little. Let it run until a continuous flow of water emerges from the central channel of the spout. It may take a few minutes for the water to come out. Flush the boiler by running the water for at least 5 minutes. Now turn off the 98-degree water control. You can now turn on the boiler. Press and hold the power button on the front panel. You'll see the standard screen with no error codes. Use the plus symbol to set the temperature to 98 degrees. It takes approximately 9 minutes to heat up. When the boiler displays the ready symbol, turn on your tap's 98-degree water control, taking care as the water is now very hot, and run the water for a further 5 minutes. Once complete, turn off the tap. Make sure the boiler comes back up to the ready state. If so, the commissioning process is complete.